What's up guys, welcome to the channel. In this video we're changing the rear shocks in this 325xi. It's an E90 and it's the same as any 328i or, yeah, I mean if it looks like this, I mean it's definitely dirty right now, but if it looks like this then it should be exactly the same. Right now I basically broke the lug nuts loose and I'm ready to jack it up. Right here I just got shocks online. You can buy them online or just get them from an auto parts store. There's obviously a whole bunch of different shocks you can get, but these are just OEM shocks, so they'll work perfect. I'm going to do the front ones in another video then. The tire off, they do tend to come off a little hard. They corrode on there and everything. So right here's the shock that we're changing, and I mean this thing's definitely bad, but we're gonna take the shock loose up in here in the trunk area first, and then after that we're gonna take it loose in the bottom here. So let's start up here. I like to use side cutters, or I mean anything like this. It helps if they're thin and long to take these clips off on the inside. This one here is already off. There's a clip here, and then you got a clip here and here, these black ones. So I'm just going to take the side cutters, and you just want to go under the first piece of plastic, like you pull on the bottom part. So yeah, pull on the bottom part and then it'll release it. So now you just basically pull this out, and then your shock is going to be right in here. So let's see if I can pull this out with one hand. You got this cover that covers the hole. So I have a 16mm ratchet wrench. This is what works the best. If you don't have a ratchet wrench, you can obviously use another wrench. And then I have a 6mm socket on the top here, and that is what keeps the shock from turning, so you can break it loose. So I'm just gonna break that loose real quick. You just turn it loose, pull it off, and then you want to keep this part here to put on top. You're going to use this again when you put the new shock in to secure it. And that's it on the top. So on the bottom end of the shock here, excuse the filthiness, but right in here I got a 15mm wrench here, and on the bottom end of the shock here I'm just going in here with the wrench, and then this is going to keep the shock from turning while I loosen the bolt. The new shocks I bought don't have this, it's just round here. So the new shocks I bought, you can't put a wrench in here, but you can still 17mm socket here, and that's what goes on the bottom here. And this loosens the big bolt obviously on the bottom. So, I mean, if I turn this bolt, my wrench is going to turn with it, as you can see. This thing actually just came off without, I probably wouldn't have even needed the wrench up top, because that just broke loose. But I'm sure, I mean, if you're going to be changing them anyway, I'm sure you could hold the shock with like a channel locks or a vice grip. Down at the bottom there, it's just solid steel. Pretty simple to change the shocks on the back end here. And that's it for loosening them. As far as the bolts now, I'm just going to take a small pry bar and pry the bottom end of the shock upwards. I'm just going right in here with the pry bar. And I mean, you don't really need that much pressure. Comes out pretty easy, but this is just an easy way to get a hold of it. You don't have to get all dirty. Once it's released good down there, then you can just go in with your hand, obviously, and just keep forcing it upward slowly. Just force it up as far as you can until you can get it out. Try and do it with one hand. Okay, there we go. And now, obviously, the top's just gonna slide down out. I'm just gonna lay it over here. So, just gonna slide this top part off. You're gonna want to put this on top of the new shocks. Slide this cover off. It's going on top of the new ones too. Nothing's junk. And this thing's all beat up. It came apart. So here's the new shock ready to be put in. Here's the bottom end, and here's the top end, obviously. This cover was on the off of the old shock, and I just took it off and put it on here because the new shocks usually don't come with some. But this cover head came apart. Right here is what holds the cover up. This just slides into there, and this had come apart. So I just put a small self-tapper screw in here to hold that, to keep it from coming apart again. And this is just, it's like a 1/4 inch long screw, just enough to hold it. You obviously don't want a very long screw or it's gonna come in and hit your steel rod in here. So I had to use both hands to compress the shock. That way I was able to get it in here. But basically, you just put the bottom end in first, just like that. You don't attach it, obviously, until you have the top end in first. Stick the bottom end in and compress it down enough to where you can get it into the top hole. And then you just let it go back up. Just guide it back in there, just like that. And now it's all in, you just put the bottom nut back on and put the top nut back on. Okay, so when you go to tighten this thing back up, the bottom nut here, when I took it off, I put a wrench in here to hold the shock, but you can actually just hold it with your hand when you go to tighten it back up. That actually works very good, because once it gets a little tight, then it doesn't turn very good. So yeah, you can easily tighten it up just by holding it with your hand and using a ratchet and socket down here. So up on top, we're going to use the same nut and everything to attach the top back on, because it's obviously, you can bend those tabs back and I could switch the nut, but this thing still looks very good. So I'm just going to use this one and just pop that back on, that 6mm nut. That thing can twist off pretty easily. Like right now it's just turning, so I'm gonna have to go on there with the 6mm in order to hold that so it tightens up. So got it all tightened up. Now just put this stuff back. It helps a lot if you put the back end in first, because that goes back in there pretty far. So you want to try and shove that in there. Yeah, basically shove that back in first. Get back in there, and then the rest will just kind of pop in. What worked for me was just take the handle of this hammer and just like hit it back until it goes back, and then kind of hit it like this in order to get it to go back in again. But yeah, that worked pretty good. So now all I gotta do is pop this back in, put my 2 clips in. So putting these clips back in, I'd say the easiest way is to just pull them apart. I got 2 pieces here. Just pull them apart and obviously put the biggest part in first. Just make sure your holes are lined up. Stick that part all the way in, and then take your small piece, stick that thing in there, and then obviously once this thing goes in, then it secures it. Hey guys, so that side's all done. I obviously already changed this side because I was too lazy to show you guys both sides, and I'm sure you probably don't want to watch it anyway. So all you got to do on this side is just pull the battery box out and then pull that panel off, and everything is literally exactly the same. But both of the rear shocks are changed now, and I've already driven it, and it does drive a lot better. The two front ones are worse than the rear ones were. I hit a couple potholes, and yeah, I basically made the one front one go bad, and then a little after the one front one went bad, the other one went bad too. So it basically made it drive like crap. But okay, so yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple to change. Hope it helped you guys out a lot. Yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and comment down below. Let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to torque down your lug nuts when you're done. Just make sure that it tightened down and everything. That way your wheels don't fall off. And yeah, if this video helped you out, please comment down below, like and subscribe, and thanks a lot.